What's up, nerds? Welcome to the Omni4Game podcast, episode 59. I'm Sean. I'm joined with Chris and Brandon as always.
What's up, guys? This week's Omni4Game recap. We go over our locals as always. We look at some top decks to see what's winning so far. We go over our weekly reveals, and then we hit your comment questions as always. So if you guys like this, make sure you like, comment, subscribe. We'll catch you in the next week.
Announcement. We have a community Discord. I will be putting the link for the Discord if you'd like to join in the pinned comment below. First topic, locals recap. Who's going first?
Dude,
we all know who's going
Oh, I'm
first.
sorry. Yeah, I know who's
Do you
going
have
first.
that?
That wasn't a
Did
troll.
you have
I had
that?
forgotten for a brief moment.
So I had a really bad night last night. Alright, so I showed up with bees because everybody in this pod was real hyped for bees. I was the only one brave enough to put the deck together.
You were, and I respect you for it.
Now I will say out the gate, I probably should have actually looked at deck profiles to see what people are playing, because I probably would have seen two cards that were actually kind of a crack choice that I didn't have in my deck that I feel like would have been really nice. So shout out to Robbie. He told me about the option card Gaia Reactor, which is actually hella broken with your Queen Bee,
Yeah.
because it deletes all Digimon on the board, yours and your opponents, but you each get to pick one, or not. I don't think you get to pick. I think it's highest DP stays.
You pick one. It says pick in case there's a tie.
Oh, in case there's a tie. Yeah. So you pick your highest DP, everything else gets deleted, which with Queen Bee on the board, you basically just get to recover every single royal base that gets deleted by that effect, which is nuts. And you're potentially clearing a wide board, which would be very good into a very good matchup like Lord Nightmon. So that's just deck building, right there on me. And the other one is the Black Mindling Tamer, I believe Satsuki. It's the one that's used in Magna, because you can tuck it under a X antibody. The entire deck's X antibody, so I didn't even think about that.
Are you
That
sure
would have
it's not
given me a
Shu
memory
Yulin?
setter.
Shu is the one that gives
It
you
might
reboot
be.
in Alliance, and it's a memory setter.
It might be that one then. But yeah, it gives you reboot and alliance, so your queen can restand, and you have double alliance, which would be very good. So that's on me for just not having those in the deck to begin with. Also, because I'm swapping out that tamer into the deck, I might have to cut Heaven's Judgment, because I realized I only have 2 green tamers in the deck. So I'd be relying on 2 green tamers just to see Heaven's Judgment.
I think it says
So.
Digimon or Tamer, doesn't it?
I'm pretty sure it's just tamer.
I
I'll
could
double
have
check.
sworn, dude. There's no way. Let me look. Digimon or Tamer?
Oh, thank God. Okay, so I can keep Heaven's Judgment.
Yeah,
We're good.
yeah. I was like, that's just bad.
Yeah, okay. Where was I? Oh, yes, round 1. I played against Sean. So, if you guys ever want to see a slaughter, maybe one day. But,
Oh, I'm posting.
Basically-
I'm posting all 4 of my matches and at least 2 to 3 of Ben's, if not all of them.
nice. So game 1 wasn't competitive, like, in the slightest. Game 2 was only slightly competitive, because he didn't see Lord Nightmon X.
That happened in game 1 as well. It took me or was it game 2 that almost decked out?
Yeah, game 2.
Okay, yeah, you're right.
So, the only thing keeping me in the game is my cannon. Like, cannon was the MVP of the night, just being able to de-evo stuff. I did misplay into Sean, because I thought he was playing an ace of some sort, so I de-evoed his level 5 stack instead of his level 6 stack, because I didn't want to get blasted when I swung, because I was swinging at one of the stacks anyway, because I wanted to track the security and all that stuff. I could have cleared both Lord Nightmons off the board had I done it properly, but like I said, I thought he might have been running some sort of ace, and I was trying to play around it. So I was like, there's no way he just left a level 5 on the board.
See,
for
that's
free.
why you got to know the decks. You got to know That version Lord Nightmon X does not play the Ace card.
Yeah, it
see,
doesn't
that's
do
just-
anything,
yeah.
unfortunately.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, it's just week 1. You're getting a feel for how your opponent's decks play.
I didn't know what any of your. I told you several times I don't know what your deck does. So like, if you had secrets
is
up your
the
sleeve, I
answer.
wouldn't have known what they were.
Nothing is
Yeah.
the answer. It sits there, and everybody sits on the board, and then I hope you don't have anything that says delete a Digimon.
Please don't have removal.
Because literally, if I don't see my level 4 while I have Queen on the board, Queen is just open for business. I'm talking legs spread, taking all visitors.
I miss Sarvon.
Did he say something like that in 4-star?
No, no. But we're rewatching it, so it's
No, he
so
says
funny.
that. Yeah, he actually says, "I miss Zarbon." He
I
actually
miss-
just.
Oh
said
yeah,
that
he
to me.
does that. I miss Sarvon.
I'm glad 2 people. Anyway, so round 2, I played against Chris. Chris is playing his Millennium. This is the only time we had play tested was actually Bees versus Millennia. I also played Ancient Omni after that, but I just wanted to feel better about myself. So, damn it, Sean. Not this crap again. How dare you eat your breakfast on the pod? So, yeah, against Chris, he 2-0'd me as well. I put 2 O's in quotations. I could have forced it to be a 1-0-1, but because game 1 took well and truly over 30 plus minutes, because we were both just like, out your dude, out your dude, out your dude, no, out your dude. Like, he made me use Cannon B like 5 or 6 times, because anytime he would DNA, Cannon's the only 5 in the trash. He has to put it on top of my deck. So I'm seeing it again, and I'm devoing you again. So it was like a back and forth like that. And then, his Wicked God, his recycle pieces, like
At some point, I just started digicrossing the Millennium on and using Wicked God, and then digicrossing it that way. And I'm like, I'm not giving you back Cannon B. I was done with that. I did it one time, and I was like, all right, I'm done with that.
Yeah. So once I was out of Cannon B's, he just gets to establish his boss monster, and then I can't touch it. So I lose that. I lost game 1, and then as we were shuffling, Sean was like, "Oh, you guys got like 8 minutes." I said, "You could just have it. I'm not doing that again." So I just let him have it 2-0. Round 3, I played against Eosmon. I lost that 0-2. Didn't even take a game off him. Game 1, I bricked. I didn't see anything I didn't see a level 3 until like 4 or 5 turns in. By then I was dead. And then game 2, he saw his Wombo with the Morphmon, the good Morphmon that has the inheritable that lets you Evo when you play a dude. So he was able to go all the way up into his level 6 for like 2 memory, swung with it, checked 3 security in one go, and then had 2 other Eosmons that could swing. So my security is gone, and once your security's at 0 with bees, you're dead. Because you can't tuck anything, because everything that tucks something also picks up something, unless it's like Queen Bee's inheritable, or not inheritable, board effect or Forge Bee's effect.
Mm-hmm.
But a smart player is not going to swing at you like that. They're just gonna swing at your security and call it a day. But yeah, so I lost that. We did play an imaginary game 3, and I did actually manage to take that off of it, purely because I saw Tiger Vesp, and Tiger Vesp is actually really good at just poking over boards that are like, you can only swing twice, but it's still better than Queen Bee only swinging once.
Mm-hmm.
So I actually did manage to take that. And then the finals, I played against somebody playing 3 Great Angels. And the fact I have Cannon B is, I think, the only reason I even won that 2-0. Because Dom, okay, de-evo it. Oh, you had a Angelwoman under it? Thanks for the memory. Like 9 times out of 10 it was Magna Anja, so I didn't get any memory rebate. But like also they hard slammed Shadow Serafi, and I was like, Okay. Winner, bring Tiger Vesp out of security, tuck a new card in security, suspend the Shadow Seraphi, swing over it. So that was nice. That's about the only time my deck actually did what it was supposed to do. I had a pretty bad night.
Your turn, Chris.
All right. I got what, fourth, Brandon? Third or fourth? I think fourth.
Third or fourth. I think it was fourth.
Yeah.
Fourth,
I went X11. Round one, I played against Lucas playing Purple Hybrid. Game one, I never saw Chimeramon, so I was kind of fighting for my life. Game two was a little bit more competitive. I actually had to I was down to 0 security, and I had to Digivolve into Moon Millenniumon to blow up his 2 Tamers, so he couldn't just hybrid me for game the next turn.
Oh yeah.
Because I only had one redirect. So I ended up doing that, and by doing that, he discarded just enough cards to where he had enough Jack Raids to Mervim on me to keep turn, to then play out 2 Velgramons and then the Kaiser Leomon. So, yeah, he ended up being able to swing twice that turn. So, it was actually a really good back and forth game. Round two, played against Brandon. He kind of already talked about that. Game one just took so long that we just never played a game two. Like he said, I would establish Millenniumon. He would then. Oh, I thought Brandon was saying something. No, he's muted. Okay.
Talking to
I would have been quiet.
Oh, yeah.
I would establish what I did wrong with bees.
I would establish Millenniumon. He would then cannon B it, and then I would establish Millenniumon again. He would cannon B it. It was just that for like the longest time.
Chris, I just want to say something real quick. You know that you don't have to put his cards on top of his deck, right? Like, that's an optional effect.
Yeah, I know. The first time I did it was DNAing, and then everything after that, it was just like digicrossing it. Yep. He literally saw all 4 cannon B-mons. I only saw 2 Millenniumons.
If you DNA, though, it's an optional effect. You don't have to do it.
Yeah.
Okay, just wanted to make sure you knew it wasn't mandatory.
Yeah. I wanted to keep the memory so I could swing with it that turn, the one time I did it.
Okay.
So I get some checks in. Yeah, I only saw the 2 Millenniumon, and I just had to recycle those over and over and over again. Like, at one point, I had all 3 of my Wicked Gods on the field because I had used it all 3 times on the Millenniumon.
Mm-hmm.
But he just saw 4 cannon B-mons.
He literally had 2 of them on the board. I de-evoed his dude, and then looked at him and said, all right, now go ahead and just play your other Wicked God. And he just went,
Yeah. So,
get all 3.
Yeah. So that was round 2. Round 3, I played against Caleb, who was playing Dynasmon. Unfortunately, he bricked game 1. So it was just kind of like it was really unfortunate for him. Like, I established Millennium on like turn 1 and just was like, okay, I'm just gonna kill you. Like, anything he just hard play out, I would just blow up, and yeah. Yeah, at one point just hard played a Dynasmon. Yeah, it was funny. I'm like, all right, Moon, Z, blah blah blah, do all this. It was funny. Game 2, he finally got to play a little bit. Unfortunately, his protection is like once per turn because he's playing like the Wizardmon X, I think.
He has a couple inheritables that do it, but
protection. Okay, yeah. Yeah. So I was just Zeeting, I was mooning, I was Millenniumoning all over him, and he just didn't have a very good time. Yeah, I don't even think he ever got to swing at my security once. Like, ever. If anything, one time he activated a card, and my Deltamon was on the board, and it actually increased his DP to 6,000. He gave my Deltamon a buff one turn. I'm like, Thank you.
I'm assuming he did that to gain the memory back.
Probably. So yeah, and then round 4, I played against Ben. He went full Satoru Gojo and said, "No, I'm not gonna lose. Nah, I'd win." Unfortunately, I won game 1. Game 2, my hand, at first I was like, hey, this is a pretty good hand. Like, I had some of my pieces, and I just needed to see like 1 or 2, so I kept it. And then every card I proceeded to draw was worse and worse and worse, and I just never got to kind of unbrick from there. At one point, Ben gave me 10 memory, so I hard played Z'd and put him to 6, and I was like, okay, hey, unless this dies a security check, you're just gonna have to deal with this. I think Ben hadn't drank enough water. He was he was upsetty spaghetti tonight because his Lucimon deck was, I guess, not performing very well.
It wasn't performing up to his standards.
Yeah. I was trying to make plays, and I was like, okay, I have a general idea of what Lucimon does. I'm like reading his cards and stuff, so I'm like, okay, so I don't want to be doing certain things. I don't want to be blowing him up, let him get free Digivolutions. And he started asking me all this stuff, and I'm like, dude, now you're making me second guess everything. Like, am I doing something wrong here? And then game 1 lasted so long that we never really got to a game 3. I can see what the Lucimon deck wants to do, but it feels like it's kind of like reminds me of Ancient Omni, where it's like super piece reliant. Like, if you just don't see all your pieces, it kind of feels weird.
It's just a slow inevitability deck. I think he brick versus you the game that he gave you 10 memory and just hard played chaos mode.
Right. Well, that's the one he ended up winning because my Z did die to a security check, unfortunately. Yeah. Eventually, because Satan mode. So that was unfortunate. And then game 3, we just never got to finish. When Sean called turns, he said, "Great, now I can't win." It kind of flabbergasted me. I was like, "Oh, okay. I'm sorry."
Sorry.
I'm sorry.
I think every single one of his rounds went to time besides when he played me.
So that's a long night. That is a long night.
Yes.
I had a first in my entirety of running these tournaments. Last night we actually had a round that went to time and finished in turns without ever completing a game 1.
Who was that?
3 Great Angels versus Bunnies.
How is that even possible?
Well, Grayson is not the most experienced player, so he takes his time on trying to figure out what he needs to do. The 3 Great Angels player is also methodical and takes their time on what they need to do. And then, when I went over there to look at their board state, there was a Quartzmon on the board.
Oh.
And it made me wonder whether or not Grayson knew that his Quartzmon could unsuspend. Because when I looked, it was suspended. And I'm wondering if they just sat there and Mystic Mine Yu-Gi-Oh, just draw pass, draw pass, draw pass
on the field.
Apparently the Quartz hadn't been on the field very long, but I guess the 3 Great Angel player was pushing for game, but Grayson was like, "Oh hey, what if I Quartzmoned you instead?" And that kind of just stopped the game in its tracks. And I guess the 3 Great Angel player just kept recovering because they were playing Magna Ace and Angelomon Ace.
Oh.
So they just sat on the board, I guess. The more Angelomons you have, the less likely Quartzes to eventually kill you, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it's one swing a turn, so it's only going to trash and check a set amount of cards.
Yeah.
That is very interesting.
Funny.
I wish that had been recorded or next to me so I could witness that.
Right.
Witness me.
Yeah. So round 4, me and Ben ended up tying 1-1-1.
Good job.
I actually thought game 1 was a pretty good back and forth. So
Ben would probably disagree with you since he lost.
Probably, yeah.
So I came in first. I played purple base Lord Nightmon X. Round 1 I played against bees. Game 1, I couldn't tell if Brandon was baiting me to promote first or if he just legitimately like couldn't see his pieces. But I wasn't.
You'll never guess which one it was.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna promote until he did because I know his deck has access to like D-Evo and stuff. And I've realized that Lord Nightmon X wants to promote second because you want to respond to your opponent's board rather than them be able to respond to yours, because you can just decimate a board in one turn very easily. But if you just do your stuff into an open field and they get a chance to respond to it, it's way worse for you. So I waited for him to promote. He promoted but didn't really do anything, and I just promoted and just cleared his board. And
never saw queen.
Yeah, and then won from there. And then game 2, I very nearly decked out. I think I won with like 4 cards left in deck because I could not find my Anubis nor any of my Lord Nightmon X's to like start getting aggro on him. And I mean, I was never concerned that he was going to kill me because like I was just putting bodies on the field because I was seeing my Lord Nightmons and I was just playing extra dudes and the Cerberus X's and stuff. But I couldn't aggro him because his guys have blocker and they're giant.
They're giant, yeah. Bro hits me with a Anubis Death X for free.
Yeah.
And that's how he cleared my board.
I finally drew into my Anubis because I was getting to like the last 10 cards in my deck and I was like,
damn it.
I was like, I revealed an Anubis at the beginning of the game and I added a different card, which doesn't happen very often, but I needed that card worse than the
Anubis. We knew it was in the deck. We knew it was in deck.
Yeah, I knew it was in the deck and I was getting close to it again because I'd searched a couple times after. And I drew into it on one turn that I needed to draw into it, and I had the Death X already in my hand. He had 5 things on the field, and I Anubis Death X, discarded the Death X and another card, played the Death X for free, devoted his field, and then Anubis popped his guy with all of his inheritables. I left one of his bodies on the field, but he wasn't going to be able to do anything on his turn.
Ban it.
Yeah, Anubis does need to go to 0. I think Anubis is just unfair at any number, especially with how many cards they've printed since it got printed that just recycle it from your trash. So I ended up winning that 2-0. Round 2 played against Dynus. Caleb brought Dynus. Unfortunately, through testing, I have come to the conclusion that that deck is just super mid versus tier 1 strategies. You could probably have an okay time at locals, assuming you don't run into a tier 1 deck, but it just hard loses to like Purple Hybrid, Mother Control, Lord Nightmon X, Lucimon. I don't know if Lucimon's tier 1, but it still loses to that deck. I never felt threatened at any point during either game. It was like Babytown Frolics easy. Because, like, he just does one thing a turn.
Yeah, like, how does the deck work? What does it do?
It treasures its own security to benefit itself. Basically, just gains memory back and, like, occasionally does stuff.
Okay, so this is Caleb's new Kintaros mon. Got it.
Yeah, but it's a 1-stack deck. Like, it doesn't play extra dudes or anything. So he would
so it hard loses to blue.
Yes, it would also lose to blue hybrid very hard. So he would just go into his
Imperial, any blue.
Yeah, he would just go into his Dynus, and I'd be like, okay, go into Lord Nightmon X, Evo it, hit you for like 3 to 4 checks, and clear your board, and now you're reset, and the game's over.
There was one turn where he like promoted, did his stuff, and I like looked over because I think Lucas and Will were playing next to me. I looked over, I was like looking at what they were doing. I looked back, and he went from 5 security to 3, and I go, what the hell happened? You're hurting yourself. What? You don't get those back. You know that.
you have to, and that's. I think that was kind of an issue with the design of the archetype. They needed to give it more recovery. Because that was an issue I ran into. Is like if you pop.
That's my issue with bees.
Off. you end up trashing like 2 to 4 security to go from a rookie to a mega.
Yep. That's my problem with bees. It's like there are certain situations where you're just ripping your security and not getting anything back for it. Like Queen Bee doesn't replace the card in security. It just plays it out. So if you only ever have one face-up security and you go for your queen play, like you don't have any more face-up security, you're basically just waiting another turn to get another card in there.
I think
so dumb.
I think Bees is probably better than Dynasmon, if built correctly.
Because I have access to Evo.
You have access to way more stuff. Dynasmon's removal is not as good as it should be.
See, the good part about Bees is the black part, because it has D-Evo and it has like protection, and then but the green side is bad green, where it's super fair.
I mean,
yeah, where
it gets alliance and it gets suspend and stun, but if it got Evo reduction,
for one of their level 6s,
yeah. I mean, it still has it though. If it got Evo reduction, I think that would be. I think that's the thing that it's missing in the archetype, because otherwise you have to play Protoform to get the Evo reduction.
They started giving it like Evo reduction. One of the level 3s has Evo reduction.
Oh, it's one of those rookies that like.
Yeah, if you would Evo into a royal base, reduce the cost by 1. But it's just the level 3.
Yeah, I think
like,
that
why can't I get it off of Winter?
Yeah, Winter doesn't.
It would make Winter actually usable.
Yeah.
Like if it gained you a memory at the start of the turn and reduced the Evo cost by 1, that's worth it. That is such a good 3-cost tamer, because you can like make plays where you keep turn. If you have multiple winners, you can make that Evo cost 0. You know, have your own built-in archetype HPD. But when I tell you, like, sometimes I just had my winners in hand and I was like, this does nothing for me.
Yeah, I feel like the best version of that deck probably doesn't play any number of that card. Round 3.
I might just got it.
Round 3 played against Lucimon. Ben was playing it. This is our most tested matchup, because that is his deck that he wants to play this format, and Lord Nightmon X is my deck I want to play this format. So we were very familiar with each other's decks. I ended up winning both games. I basically just responded to his field. I promoted second, and I got super aggro. If I promote, I immediately am just trying to get him down to 0 security as quickly as possible. And once that happens, it's very hard for him to defend himself if he doesn't have like a bunch of extra memory or like his stuff set up already, which he doesn't have a chance to do if I can clear it quick enough. So I 2-0'd him. Over. And then he demanded to play a game 3. We played another game, and I opened a lot slower that game. I don't know exactly how it would have ended, because I don't know what was in his hand. But he did say I got it whenever we had to stop to go to the next round. But he got me to 0 security before I was able to like stabilize.
You had him. You had him if that Satan mode's on security.
Oh even in Leviah X and tried to just kill him. Yeah.
Yeah, you had him there if not for that Satan mode.
I forgot about that. Yeah, I would have killed him on the spot right there.
It's so interesting when you see a play like that live in color. Just like, oh man, I don't think I can lethal you. Looks at Leviah's inheritables. Oh wait a second.
Mm-hmm.
That's so funny.
Then round 4 played against Lucas playing Purple Hybrid. That was the deck that I was least comfortable with going into the matchup, because they don't leave a lot of stuff for you to interact with, and like Lord Nightmon X can't keep tamers from evoing, unfortunately. If it did, that would be so much better.
That was my biggest problem too going into that matchup, was like I can't interact with his tamers outside of Moon Millennium on, but like he knew that, so he always kept his hand relatively low until the end of game 2, where it's just like he had no way of keeping his hand low.
Yeah. Game 1, he won the die roll, which I definitely don't want to lose a die roll to that deck, because I'm already starting on the back foot. He ended up turn 2 putting me to 3 security. He promoted an Uko, and then Louis'd out a second Uko. Hit God. Both times. And I think he actually put me to 2 security, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, because he played a Matt. He opened promo Uko and memory setter Matt going first. And
the Louis?
Yeah.
And the Louis?
So turn 2, he hit me for 3 checks, if I remember correctly. I was able to do a little bit of stuff, and he ended up killing some things, and I recovered 2 protoforms before the end of the game, so I was back up to 4 security, and I put Levi X in my deck, specifically because I need Tamer removal, and he ended up playing into it game 1, because he went into... what's it called? He went into the Velger on 1 turn, and instead of killing himself, he killed my rookie to kill my level 5, and my other body was Lord Nightmon X, and he ended up doing all of that, and then to pass turn he rivals my Lord Nightmon X, and that's where the 2 protoforms, because I have my protoform, my level 5, and the Lord Nightmon X, so I recovered up to 4, and then so he left his body on the field because he killed the Gabu to kill the 5. So I trash Levi X every time I see it, like almost immediately. And he gave me 6 memory to rivals my Lord Nightmon X. I hatched Evoed into a rookie, hard played a level 4, and then protoformed into a Lady Dev X. Played the retail blocker token, and then made his Velger like end of attack delete itself. Knowing that he's probably going to still swing at me. And if he does, and I block with my retail guy, he'll have to play his Tamer out. I think it's optional, but like he's going to play his Tamer out. And then I can Levi X out of my trash and pop his Tamer. So I did that. He goes to 3 from his memory setter. He didn't have another rookie in his hand, thankfully, the previous turn, so he couldn't promote that turn. And he thought about it for a minute, because he was like, you're probably going to block. But I mean, if I were him, if I didn't know/remember there was a Levi X in my trash, I still would swing, because like whatever. He ends up swinging. I block it. He plays the mat back, triggers the mat to add the Dustmon back, and at this point he has 2 mats and a Louis on the field, and I'm like, okay, after the mat finishes, I'm gonna Levi X, pop the other mat that's already on the field, so now you can't even on top of Louis, and the mat you just played has summoning sickness, so like you can't swing at me anymore. And he's only... It's over. Yeah, he only has 3 security now, and I have a Levi X on the field with 3 checks, not Cerberus X underneath it, but a rookie and raising. So if he doesn't have an answer to my Levi X, I can potentially just lethal him on my turn. He doesn't have an answer, ends up playing 2 more Koichis to give me 3. I promote. He was thinking he either needs rivals to be the first or second check, or double Jack Raid to pass turn. So I swung with Levi X, survived the first 2 checks, and then I think I looked over, because I just watched this last night and realized something. I think I looked over at Ben and Chris's game whenever he checked the 3rd one, because the 3rd security check was a Deathslinger, and it should have killed my Goblimon, but I think Lucas was so like tunneled visioned into killing the Leviah that he didn't even realize that the Deathslinger would kill my Goblimon, so I couldn't lethal him. Because he just picked up the Deathslinger and put it in his trash. And then I looked back and he was like, yeah, that's game. And I was like, cool. And so we went to game 2. So I did not have lethal in a turn. So Lucas, if you're watching this, I don't know if I still wouldn't have won, because I was at 4 security at that point. He would have been able to do big damage to me on the next turn, but there's still a chance that I still kill him before he can lethal me, because if he outs the Levi X, I recover again. So that's even more security he has to fight through, and he would have killed the Levi X on his next turn if he Duskmon into Velger. Right. Game 2 went way different. He went first again, and he didn't open a memory setter, and I repeatedly choked him to 1 with a Gazimon on the field. and he couldn't do anything. I just lost my train of thought.
That's rough, buddy.
I Anubis Monned him, played some dudes back, choked him to 1. He Rivals Barraged the Anubis to give me 6, and I was like, cool. Evo up in another Cerberus X, play the Labramon back, add Anubis back, Evo into Anubis again, play another dude, choke you to 1, and then he couldn't out the Anubis, and on my next turn, I think he gave me like 3 memory, I promote, and I end my board. He was still, I don't think I had even swung at him. He had 5 security still. I wasn't swinging yet. I think my ending board had like 8 dudes on it, and I lethaled him through all 5
Yeah,
security.
Too many. You're playing with your food.
So Ben was like, "What are you doing? Just swing." And I'm like, he plays security bombs. I can't just be like, "Oh, I have 6 bodies. I guess you're just dead." Because that's not how it works.
Typical Sean. Gotta have 20 mons on the board before he can kill you.
I was playing around Rivals and Deathslinger in security. Jack Raid didn't do anything because I had 2 Godzimons on the field before I started poking at him. One of his security was Jack Raid, and I was at 0 memory, but obviously didn't matter. But yeah, I could have lethaled him through like 10 security, I think, on that turn. But yeah,
it was bad.
Yeah, it was so bad because I checked a Tamer and got to Evo into Levi X for free out of my trash. So like, I think I could have killed him through like almost 15 security, if I'm not mistaken, because I had 2 swings with Lord Nightmon X, 2 swings with Levi X, 2 swings with Anubis, and I had like 3 other bodies that I could swing with. So yeah, he was super dead. So ended up coming in first place. Didn't drop a game. I guess with an asterisk, because I potentially could have lost game 1 to Lucas, and came in first. You guys all suck.
Yeah, moral of the story: don't play bees. Especially since me and Sean played a game after. I played Ancient Omni, and I absolutely rolled him. No contest.
You did, but to be fair, you opened basically the nuts.
He didn't drop a game, he says. God, this guy.
That doesn't... It's not in tournament. You did open basically the nuts going first, and I opened very slowly. But yes, you did win.
Like, yeah, I could have, like, okay, I saw it too. It was so funny. Whenever I popped your level 4, you were like, haha, now he can't, like, lethal me with that Gabumon. And then I just set the Alter B down, and you're like, yeah, you got it.
Yeah. I would have lost that game anyway. But yeah, you just killed me on that turn. Because I had 3
Ben and Brandon are the champions of. All right, let's play it.
The salty extra game 3 for no reason after
getting one more.
Yeah,
play me one more.
Like, if the round ends in sub 20 minutes, just like play an extra game.
Oh yeah, just keep playing.
Yeah. It depends on how I feel that night. If it's a deck that I'm very comfortable playing and have played it like a bunch, like my deck that I'm using. And a lot of times I'll be like, nah. But if it's a deck that's like my first or second week playing, like I'll play another game just to get more practice in.
Get a feel for it.
Yeah, which despite me and Ben playing...
Run it back.
Yeah, despite me and Ben playing a bunch of games with that matchup in particular, I did mercifully grant him a game 3 when he requested it. And then I...
What would you say is the winning percentage between you and him with those 2 decks? 70-30, 60-40, 80-20.
That particular matchup is probably... It's probably between like 80-20 and like 90-10.
Damn!
It's not a good matchup for him because of the techs I play. And now that I have Levi X in the deck, it actually makes that matchup worse for him.
Yeah, Ben literally said he just puts a Pillowmon on the board and I can't play.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair.
I forgot one of the games. I think it was game 1. He He played Larva, put it in security to Evo into a chaos mode, and I ended up with a rookie on the field in 4 memory. And I was like, play Pillowmon, swing with my rookie, check your larva. It doesn't do anything, and my rookie's still alive. LOL.
0 DP, no problem.
Yeah. Yeah, Pillowmon really poops on him. Because he was asking me last night after the tournament, he was like, what do I do to out your Pillowmon? And I was like, legitimately, you have to bite and crush it. Like, you have to pay 8 memory and kill it and hope I can't recur it. Otherwise, you don't have any definitive answers to it, because...
Does he not play like the Porcu or whatever it's called, where it's just like that little dude you just play and pop it?
No, he's not playing.
Space,
he's not playing Demon Lords. That deck is very tight.
Oh, find a copy for like Pummel Whack or something.
His other option is to have a Chaos Mode on the field and Evo and a Levia to kill it. But like those are his only two, like, I'm gonna kill it for sure. You can't do anything to like make me not kill it.
Prevent it.
Because like he can't Satan mode to play the larva in raising to kill it, because the pillow keeps him from being able to play the larva in raising. He tried to do that in our extra game 3. He's like, even in Satan mode, play larva, pop your pillow, and I was like, you literally can't. You can't pay cost, therefore you can't delete my Pillowmon. Put it back in trash.
Damn.
Yeah. Like, does the larva only come out if it's checked through battle?
Larva goes into raising with the Satan mode Evo effect.
Well, it's not when it's in security.
When it's in security, it plays a Rookie Lucemon out of trash when it's checked.
That's only when it's checked?
Out of security, yeah.
Okay. Well, I was thinking if you trash it, like, it doesn't get its effect. Okay.
The way
I was thinking about the ancient Omni, and I was like, okay, well, if I know it's that security, like I could bounce it with the ancient, or I could trash it with the Wargrey Inherit.
Yeah.
I was just thinking in my head about that matchup.
Yeah, I feel like you probably have a good matchup into that deck because you're so aggressive. That deck has a difficulty with decks that can run it down before it gets a chance to set up.
I think a lot of decks have problems with that. It's the reason Imperial is so good for so long.
Yeah. Depending on the deck, yeah.
Just come out the gate swinging. Yesterday, me and or everybody in our house was basically playing Black Ops. Even E, she got it. So while we were playing, Doka was in her lap, like laying on her, like Doka lays on me. And every now and then, you would just hear the tiniest, most adorable little squeak through E's headset, and it was fantastic. It really made my day.
Nice.
Oh, I see some Millennium on there.
All right, so where's my
man? I don't see any ancient.
Oh God, it's last place. Never mind.
All right, it's not last place. So we have one tournament to go over to look at the top decks. This is Eagle X Locals, his Monday Night Locals, his Winnabox Locals. Did have a 2.0 tournament this past Monday. This is the top 8 breakdown. There were 30 players, 5 rounds of Swiss. Coming in 8th at 3-2 is Millenniumon with, looks like Tessero. Let's take a Gandy, getting some lag. This website's so bad. All right, Chris, what are your opinions on this? Because
that's yours.
I mean, our lists are kind of similar. He is playing that Deltamon. I'm not playing that one. I was playing more Wisdom trainings instead of the Delta. Like, that's probably how I would do it as well. Yeah, I don't. I would be playing 4 analog. Like, it just makes too much sense. You want to be able to fill your trash and get that memory when you delete your stuff. The memory blocking Ghazi's probably a good choice as well.
You even have
other than that, I mean, no,
he's not playing.
I was trying to make it as consistent as possible. You know what I mean? Like, just trying to play like. See, after reading some cards and doing some studying, that Chimeramon, the second one, and then that second Machine Dramon are just like kind of clunky in the way they work. Like,
yeah, I feel like this one is just way better. Like the DE,
this one,
all of your opponent's Digimon, like.
That's the one that was pissing me off.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the really... And then the other one is just not as good. Like, even its on deletion isn't even good, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Because at least the other one allows you to DNA. This one, I don't even think allows you to DNA. Just let you play out the level 5. So it's...
I guess the combo...
Because so like what it is it's that one and the first Machinemon, the Chimeramon you just pulled up, and then the really good Machinemon, that's the combo between those two, and then the second Chimera and the second Machinemon, that's the combo between those two.
So this guy plays back this guy deletes this guy, and then this guy plays this guy, and
it's going like the super long way.
Yeah, or I guess you could play... Oh, that's interesting. You can infinitely loop them. Huh. Yeah.
Assuming that you have the memory.
Well, once you do the first one, once you go into this guy, everything else is free. Everything else is just like roleplay and stuff.
Yeah, the combo I'm always looking for is just that first Chimeramon and that first Machinemon. As soon as you Digivolve into that Chimeramon and then play that Machinemon, it's you have Millenniumon.
Yeah.
And it's normally for, and this is without returning cards to the deck with Millenniumon, it's normally like 7 memory. And it's even less if you activate the Millenniumon's effect.
That's not too bad, because you're killing, what, 2 bodies with that effect?
Yes. Well, you're not deleting... You're not... Unless you have another body on the board for the Chimeramon to get its effect, I'm just not triggering that.
Couldn't you just delete himself?
Yeah. But you don't want to do that without the Machinemon, because this Machinemon's effect right here is you can reduce its play cost by 4 by deleting a Digimon. So you just Digivolve into the Chimeramon and then just hard play this for 7. Deleting the Chimeramon and then DNAing into the Millenniumon.
But if you wanted, if you already had a Machinemon in trash, you could just Evo into this guy, kill himself, and then DNA into...
No, because the Machinemon has to be on the board.
Yeah,
that's what everyone gets... Yeah, that's why everyone gets slipped up on this. It has to be a Machinemon on the board and then a Chimeramon in trash.
Oh my god, the wording on this card is atrocious then.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Like, everyone slips up on this, because I was playing last night and people were like, oh, you're just not going to... I'm like, no. The Machinemon's got to be on the board.
I'm assuming you confirmed this ruling somewhere?
Yeah. I'll through all my studying and everything like that. Because on the other Chimeramon, it says... Machinemon, and then it says Chimeramon brackets trash. That's how I've been playing it, and that's how I've seen it played.
Interesting. This deck would be so much better if you could just kill himself and then DNA from your trash completely.
I mean, you're the judge. I mean, I don't know how you would rule it, but that's how I was playing it. I just played it where the Machinemon had to be on the board. Because it says one of your Machinemon and one Chimeramon in the trash.
No, I'm pretty sure you're right.
Okay.
But yeah, that's unfortunate. I did not realize that when I was quickly reading this card.
I agree. I think it would be way better that way. You know, because then you're just digivolving to this and just doing it. You know.
Yeah. Once you get your trash set up, you're like, I'm about to touch you.
Yeah, I'm dugging. I'm going off. But yeah. It also just makes more sense that way, because the Machinemon, like, you know, deleting something to reduce its play cost, so you just, it makes more sense.
That's why it costs 7, because you have to hard play and kill this guy, and then you can do it.
Okay, so looking into it, this is actually a result of it being translated into English. In Japanese, it is much more clear that the Chimera has to be in trash, Machinemon has to be in board.
That is usually the case. It's just...
Yep.
After reading the card a little closer, it is pretty clear, but like they could have worded that better, so you wouldn't make that mistake at all.
Agreed. Because like I said, a couple people last night
could just say in play or in the battle, like anything.
Yeah. Machine Dramon in play and 1 Chimera in trash.
Yeah.
So yeah.
But I think your Machine Dramon, that implies that it's in play, but a lot of players aren't going to know that.
Right. So yeah, the other Chimeramon and other Machine Dramon are just like way more clunkier in my opinion. Like they still have their uses. They just don't come up as often as the other two.
The fact that this guy kills potentially 3 dudes is pretty nasty.
Right, like I said, it has its uses, but
Yeah.
it's way harder to combo off with this one.
That's fair.
But other than that, I would be playing way more analogs. I think that's better. Like that's just a really good card.
I agree. I feel like this is just
Especially
a 4 of in a deck like this. Because you want.
But yeah, other than that.
Okay. Then we have 7th place, Nace.
Fenry.
With Fenry. This is the Wombo Combo variant.
Yep.
Maxing out on the Taz, or the Kaz, makes sense.
Yeah.
Only playing 3 of the Fin makes sense.
I forget what the memory boost is, but I'm pretty sure there's a yellow-purple one coming in December that's going to be a big boost to this deck because then you can search the Kazuchi.
Is it a scramble or is it a boost?
Scramble?
It's one of the dual-color memory boosts where it searches one of 2 colors.
Right.
I think it was made with
just
the Mastamon deck in mind, but this deck also benefits from it.
Yeah, I was going to say it's literally just normal memory boost, but I think you reveal 1 less card and you can grab either color.
Yeah, it's 3 cards and one or the other color.
Gotcha.
Yeah, because remember, it's got the blue-red one that has Agumon Gabumon on it.
Mm-hmm.
Which I'm hoping is going to be a slight boost to that deck. Although it can't grab Omnimon, which feels bad. Or can it grab Tamers? No, because it can only grab Digimon.
It's literally a memory boost card, just slightly adjusted.
Yeah, give me a multicolor training card. That'll be busted.
We'll probably eventually get those, I'm assuming. Although I'm kind of curious how that's going to work, because like, are they going to make it to where it just looks at the top 1?
No, I think still have top 2. Just change the delay effect. Reduce cost by 1 instead of 2.
That just sounds bad.
Not as good, but like better searching.
I think they should have made those memory boost cards search anything. Like, at least Tamer and Digimon. I feel like, I don't know. I just, bot decking Tamers feels kind of bad depending on what deck you're playing.
Always.
Then we have 6th place, Kakaru with Lucamon. Let's take a Gandhi. Let's see. Just looking for differences between this and Ben's list. There are several. This guy's playing the BT4 Lucamon. I think this card is super mid and unnecessary.
It's only a 1 of 2, so...
Yeah, it's a 1 of. Ben has tested it, and he cut it after testing it for a little while. I agree, like, after playing with the deck myself, I don't think this card is necessary.
And then you also have, like, cards like Holy Wave, which I think feels a little weird.
The Holy Waves are interesting. I feel like those are also unnecessary.
I'd rather that be like a Pummel Whack or something like that to out Floodgate.
You could do that, yeah. I'm sure this person was just getting rolled by fast decks, so like this was like their solution. I'm sure this one's also the same thing. I don't know. I feel like you're better off trying to set yourself up. Also, this person is not playing any Gospels. On paper, Gospel seems like it's a kind of mid, but after testing against Ben, once he put the Gospels in, his deck was much better. Because
really,
all of your plays in this deck are expensive. Like, they basically all cost at least 5 memory. And when you have when you can set up Gospels, you can actually do multiple things but without passing turn. And whenever you're able to do multiple things without passing turn, that's when the deck gets kind of bad or like nasty.
Good.
Yeah.
What about the Coffin?
Yeah, Ben, I think, saw this list and sent me this card. This card is interesting.
I saw people playing this in Machine Dramon as well.
Yeah.
Was it Machine Dramon? What deck was it? I can't remember, but go ahead.
It's an interesting interaction with your EX6 Chaos mode, your BT whatever Chaos mode, the 2.0 one, and also Lucy X, because deleting the Digimon is not a cost. So Lucy X and the 2.0 Chaos mode can keep themselves from being deleted, and then you still get to play a purple level 5 or lower from your trash. You get to play another Chaos mode back. They don't get their on plays, but you get another body on the field, which is good. And then the EX6 Chaos mode will obviously float into like either Satan mode or Leviamon. But it's for memory to potentially put a second body on the field or float into two bodies, one body, and then play another one. The security effect, though, is, old school, just adds it to hand. And the fact that it doesn't get its own play, obviously, is a lot worse.
Right.
I think you'd rather this be a Dead or Alive. Like, I think that interaction is cute, or those interactions are cute, but I think Dead or Alive and Biting Crush are just better cards.
Gotcha.
Yeah, Mastamons are interesting. The analog use are also kind of surprising. I feel like it's pretty easy to deck out in this deck if you end up trashing too many cards. Because, you recover a lot, you search and trash with the EX6 Lucamon. So, if you're also doing it with this analog youth, I feel like this guy may have decked out once or twice.
Yeah.
Yeah, interesting list, though. I don't know why anybody's not running the BT7 Chaos mode as a one-of to confirm kill things. Because interacting with Tamers is pretty good this format.
Yes, it is.
5th place Wiz Wiz, Lord Nightmon X Black Base.
I don't know what the black base
seems about right. He's playing a different top end than most of the deck lists I've seen of this. Most lists I see of this aren't playing the Lord Nightmon X. They're playing the level 6 Dark Nightmon X antibodies.
Tamer interaction.
So
yeah.
That Skull Nymon right there, that purple black one, being as expensive as it is ridiculous still.
Yeah, it's funny that it is expensive. I mean, it's just because of scarcity, but it is only good in specifically the black base if you're playing the Dark Nightmon package, because he doesn't give Lord Nightmon an extra check. Nope. And he only really is good if you're also playing the Nenes and stuff. I will say I tested this for a little bit, the Dark Nightmon package black base. I think it's really bad. It's just clunky and awkward, and it loses to all the tier 1 strategies. I think this is cope. I think it's probably tier 2, if I were to guess.
Lord Knight cope.
Yeah, this is cope. I think there is a black base that could be competitive, but it does not include the Dark Nightmon cards. You're working too hard for all of this stuff for not very much payoff, in my opinion. Then we have Marshmallow Ruffian, 4th place Purple Hybrid. Okay, this guy's playing the wild teched out variant.
Yeah, I was gonna say this is the teched out version that I've seen.
Yeah, this is the one that's playing the Venus and it's
the Cinderella.
Yeah, that's interesting. He's also playing the Mind Link Tamers, so you can de-Mind Link at the end of your turn, which makes sense if you're playing a version that doesn't kill itself every turn. So you can recycle those guys.
The Ruin mode, love it.
Yeah, the one of Ruin mode. I personally feel
it clinches games sometimes.
Yeah.
I like the Mervamon one. That's just me, though.
I do, too. I think this version is trying to do too much and getting too cute. I think the Mervamon variant is just way better, because you're just I'm going to turn my card sideways every turn. If you can't stop me, you're going to be dead soon. Whereas this one, I think, is just trying to get too cute. And, you're playing a bunch of cards, like you have higher likelihood to brick, because like the Mervamon variant, you don't even have to play level 5s, and level 6 you're playing is Merva, which you hard play anyway. And also it gets to play Matte, which helps you a lot because you get to recycle your Duskmons infinitely, whereas this variant cannot. Besides, I guess this Koichi Inheritable will recycle a Duskmon when you swing. This Koichi, I think, kind of blows.
Yeah, agreed. If JP wasn't in this set, it'd be up there.
I think
one of the worst.
Obviously, you can play this guy for free because you can just get it in the trash and play it off the deletion inheritable. But like, if you ever have to hard play this guy, it feels so bad. It's a 4-cost tamer.
Yeah,
doesn't set your memory.
Yeah, like it just feels bad because it's like you're kind of forced to play it because of its name.
Yeah.
It's so bad too because like if you want to play Magna Garu, you have to play Koichi. So bad. You have to play Koichi and JP.
Yeah.
And Koji, of course, but.
And like this variant is literally forced to play it because otherwise you have no. I don't think there's another way to recycle. Yeah. The Digimon being able to play an extra tamer back is pretty cool, but paying memory to Evo into it's pretty gross.
All right.
Yeah. I'm sure it's fun to play, but I think the more competitive variant is going to be the Mervamon. Third place, Poke Trooper, Ancient Gray.
Yeah, Brandon, I've been seeing people talk about this Gigaspawn. I think,
it's good.
It's like the best generic hybrid going forward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Inheritable's good.
I mean, the Grumbly and the Gigas are both really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think, yeah, the fact that it just gives Rush is so good because you could kill this guy, end of turn, pop these,
still turn back.
Yeah, pop these, still turn back, play out your tamer, and if you manage to go back to 3 somehow, you can just Evo into the tamer.
Grab Crush.
Yeah, you grab Crush, Evo into the Gigas on the tamer you just played and swing for game.
Pretty nasty.
Yeah. Looks interesting.
Why aren't you playing Red Hybrid right now, Brandon? You're just having too much fun with Ancient Omnimon and Bees?
Half of that statement is correct.
You should put together Red Hybrid. I feel like that deck's probably pretty good into this meta, if I were to guess.
Yeah, I might. I still have it sitting there on the table. It's all built. I just have to throw in the new stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know how many Takuya Kojis we have, but I mean, I don't think you play that many.
This deck list has 3. I mean, it's just a rare. I'm sure we could scrounge together.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be hard to get hold of.
That's one warp. One warp is good. 3 memory setters and 2 of the piercing. Yeah.
Yeah.
That all checks out.
It's a cool list. Then we have Magna X, second place Spartan, went 401.
Oh yeah, he's playing the Pyodramon version.
Yeah, he's playing this, but he's playing the Pyodramon variant.
Every one of you psychopaths in this world who plays Thomas Splits like that, I hate you.
I guess all of your rookies can't
Pickle Lane.
They can Evo on both, but like I don't see why you would.
What's the Wormmon even do?
The
minnow.
When you delete a Digimon in battle, if you have 2 or more colors, gain 1 memory. It is all turns, but like your opponent would have to willfully play into that on their turn. I mean, this guy suspends and you could potentially run over stuff, but I don't know. This guy suspends a guy, gets 3k. Maybe that's the thought process there. You go into this guy, swing over something, gain an extra memory, and then maybe you have enough memory to go into Magna X with like the return without passing turn.
Yeah, I get that, but then why 2 dim EV mons? Why not 4 and 1?
I feel like committing to one or the other is probably best, but this isn't my deck.
Interesting.
Yeah, I prefer decks where I only have to play 4 Tama and they're all going to be the same card.
Yup.
Yeah.
It's an interesting list, though. And then we have first place 5-0, A LMAO, Lord Nightmon X, purple base. This one is pretty interesting.
Yo. Shoutmon cards? What?
You haven't
He's got
noticed,
the Jess GX.
noticed this guy.
No, I saw the Ragna. I saw the Ragna.
So
for some reason,
Ragna makes
so
sense.
far back. I'm so far back. I thought that was Jess GX when I like scanned it.
No, you could play
But no,
GX in this deck,
Ragna's
though.
hilarious.
So
I get it. I see the idea here.
You
I
understand
see
what's happening. Okay.
Yeah. Go ahead, Sean. Explain it. Explain what's going on here.
So basically, if you combo off on your opponent, like go into your Lord Nightmon X, if you see like your full line, you can just OTK. It's literally the new Ragna OTK. You hit them.
This guy's OTK. He's seen his pieces. He's playing old Lady Devimon. He's drawing multiple cards.
Yes, and he's also playing the starter deck Gaudomon, which also lets you Evo into either one of these ladies for 1 memory, in addition to having the end of turn inheritable to DNA into the win con. So you swing at your opponent for, if you have full combo, it should be, I guess you only get to play back 1 body, or only get to play 1. No, you get to play 2 bodies. Yeah, full combo. You hit your opponent for 4 checks, and then you can just hard play Shoutmon, end of turn DNA Naragna and kill them. Or potentially, if you have enough cards in your primary stack, and you played back like the starter deck Gaudomon off the Lord Nightmon effect, and you can get enough cards in that stack, you'd only have to swing 1 time. You'd swing 1 time for 2 checks. Popping, or not popping, but I'm sorry, you can't swing for 4 checks. This combo requires you to swing with Alliance 1 time, and then you have to DNA and try to kill them from 3. I forgot there's no Cerberus X in this deck.
Sounds cool.
When are we gonna see this version, Sean?
I've already ordered the cards that I did not have, which is the starter deck.
Let's go.
That's funny.
And I confirmed I was able to pick up the rest of my Lady Dev X's last night, so I have 4 of these. I confirmed I have 4 of these. I know that I have 2 of this card. Let me see, what set did this guy come out of? This is a common. I'm sure I have 4 of those. Yeah, I might play this next week.
Okay, let's go.
This seems,
I can't wait for the...
Yeah, the rag. This seems really, really fun. I really like what this guy cooked. Whenever I saw it the other day.
How many people did he just get with this? They're like, oh no! They just see the Shoutmon and they're like, what? Hold on, what? And then
you're literally like hard play. Like it's so good. So what the actual combo is, so I was thinking, for some reason, in my mind, Lord Nightmon X unsuspends itself because I'm so used to having Cerberus X in the sources. But
yeah,
the full combo, you go into Lord Knight, play back the Gado, and then you just go up into another line completely, and then Evo into the Shoutmon, and then just DNA Naragna and blow up their board and kill them. Really cool. I'm surprised it's only playing 2 Ragnas. I guess, I mean, this deck space is probably kind of tight. Because the Ragna is unsearchable, but you do have quite a bit of draw power in this deck.
I was going to say, you just kind of need to see 1, so...
Yeah, you only need to see 1. If they're both in security, you don't get to get this cute win condition, but the odds of that happening are pretty low.
Plus, the deck is inherently probably just pretty strong by itself. So, like, you could probably just control most of like the weaker decks with Lord Nightmon X.
Yeah, you definitely can.
Oh.
Like, you don't have to see the Ragnar to win, but this version, because you're not playing the Cerberus X to unsuspend, I'm sure it struggles to close games out if you don't see your Ragnar and your opponent's playing like a decent deck. But like the Dober draws a card, the Dober X draws a card, the Gatomon searches if you play it back, which most likely you will off the Lord Nightmon. Lady Dev draws 2 cards, in addition to the Sunamon drawing an extra card. So like, if you promote and Evo up without passing turn, you're probably going to draw like 10 cards out of your deck.
Yeah,
in between like Evoing and the effects. Yeah.
You looking forward to playing this?
I do. I'm actually pretty excited because, I mean, Ragnar OTK is very fun. I will probably adjust the ratios in this a little bit to my liking once I test it a little bit. Like, I know why he's probably playing the BT9 X Antibody is just to, if he doesn't see a protoform early, you can still activate it to tuck to get that extra source for the Ragnar OTK.
Makes sense.
I would probably just play 4 protoforms. It's quite possible he only had 3 protoforms, and that's why he did this.
It's an expensive card.
It is. They're like almost $50 now for the cheapest version.
Damn.
Yeah, this deck looks very fun. I very well may play this next week.
Very nice.
Yeah, very cool. Very demure.
Very demure.
Don't you start that.
Are you talking to your pussy?
I'm talking to you guys.
I think he's talking to us.
You're very demure.
Oh, okay.
Man, it's kind of weird because we're getting to the point where they're revealing cards we've already seen again.
Well, I mean, we'll just skip over those.
Yeah, it's like the higher quality of the cards we've seen before, like that Tamer that we all thought looks like an F-boy. The new Tyranno Tamer.
Mm-hmm.
I don't
Tan Taiga.
I don't remember that.
We went over him a while ago. Like, we were still in the midst of reveals for like BT18, BT19. And they, for some reason, started showing us random EX8 cards.
I just scrolled past him. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
I remember now.
God, I'm looking at this EX8 level 6 like aquatic thing again, and I still hate it. I hate everything about it. I don't know what this thing is.
It is very dumb looking.
Like, for the viewers, it's this guy because I can't see its name. Yeah, whatever the hell that thing is, I hate it. It looks so dumb. With its shrimp legs and its giant arms.
It's not very demure.
Not very demure at all.
When are we going to get good blue stuff again? Huh?
What
I can't go not
about?
one format. I can't
Never
go
all your
Did you
good
really
ones.
say that?
I can't go one format where blue's not tier 1. I'm a blue player.
Well, you're in luck, dude, because blue hybrid still exists. What are you
But according to those decks we just saw, they weren't even there. There was not one blue deck.
It was the first tournament of 2.0. People wanted to play the new stuff. Did you see any deck that's already existed in there?
Ancient Gray.
That got new stuff. I guess the only deck in there that was, I think, already played was the Fenry.
Yeah, Fenry didn't have any new stuff.
Alright, weekly reveals. Gatsumon. On deletion, by trashing one card with the mineral or rock trait in your hand, draw 2, inheritable blocker.
Okay, so it's bad. Cool.
Yeah, the fact that it's an on deletion is pretty dumb and bad.
Unless there's like a way to pop your own dudes by playing him out for free. Like, other than that.
Yeah. I would assume there isn't because it's black, but you never know.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, as far as card economy works, by the way, it's so neg because you're losing him, you're losing a card in your hand, and you're drawing 2. Like, you're not gaining anything new, you're just digging into your deck deeper.
Yeah, it's an even that costs you a body that already was on the field. It's like you're effectively paying 3 million.
Promote rookie swing?
Yeah, I mean, I guess maybe in a rookie rush strategy that is playing nothing but minerals and rocks, but like, yeah, you're investing the time to put him in play somehow and then killing him.
Pack filler.
Yeah. Gogmamon, blocker, with on deletion reveal the top 3 cards of your deck. You may play 1 mineral or rock trait Digimon card with a play cost of 5 or less from among them without paying the cost. Trash the rest. Inheritable opponent's turn. Once per turn, when any of your opponent's Digimon attacks, you may change the attack target to this Digimon.
Maybe there's a way they're going to make it where... Yeah. What I was going to say is maybe they're going to do like a Hina type situation where you get like a tamer that gives you your on deletions as like Digivolving or something.
That's actually a good thought. That's possible.
That's the only thing I can think of to make it worth.
Yeah, there's got to be something that's triggering these off.
That is a good thought, Brandon. That would suck though, because as we've seen, decks that are relying on a tamer like that, obviously if you don't see the tamer, you're just not really doing anything.
Hard lose.
Yeah. Marine Angemon. This one's pretty interesting.
That or Metal Seedramon. Yeah. Or is that Mega Seedramon? That's Mega Seedramon.
Yeah, I think so.
He's got a arm.
Deep Savers, I believe, is what the DS stands for.
No, I think it stands for dual screen.
No, you're right. I forgot.
Dual screen, yep.
It evo's for 3 on a level 5 with DS or a yellow level 5. Security. At the end of the battle, give 2 of your opponent's Digimon security attack -1 for the turn, then add this card to the hand. All turns, while you have 1 or more memory, none of your opponent's Digimon can activate when Digivolving effects. So let that sink in and think about what that means.
Obviously, it means no blast evoing for you.
Yeah, it means ace cards don't do anything unless you're at 0. It also means red decks probably get pummeled in the B-hole because...
Blitz.
Yeah, no blitz. Also, anytime you Digivolve to pass turn, you don't get a Digivolving effect. This is a very interesting Mega Floodgate.
Yeah, I was gonna say it just kind of seems like it would go in like one of those like yellow hybrid decks, you know, where like they were playing Venusmon as their top end. It just feels like it would go in something like that.
It would
like a really good stun strat.
It would definitely be some kind of stun strat, but like this is the first card we've had that straight up just says your ace cards don't do anything.
This card just says no.
Yeah, no.
It's also weird because it's only 9 on play.
It's also weird because it's a common. I expected this to be like a super rare or something.
Yeah.
Nah,
it's got a lot of potential. Cool. It makes me think of like security control or something because like you can.
I mean, the biggest downside is he's small. He's only 9k DP.
Yeah, but you're probably leaving him face up. Like standing like the whole game because of his floodgate.
Yeah, you're never swinging with this until it's time to kill your opponent.
Yeah. The fact that you can tactical retreat this guy to potentially keep your opponent is pretty cool.
I was just thinking that too.
Yeah, like this guy is very interesting. When I read this, I was like, that's got a lot of potential.
Imagine they would have made it even better and they made it like Angel trait. 3-Great Angel getting a buff. That'd be insane.
I
mean, you would literally be playing 3-Great Angels, and your opponents wouldn't be able to ace you.
No, I understand. I was just thinking if like I would play it in Angels, but like I'd have to retool the entire deck to figure that out, so I can't really say for sure.
Yeah.
But it's definitely a cool tech card.
Alright, now it's the cards everybody was being excited for.
Renamon X. On play / when Digivolving, return 1 option card with plugin in its name from your trash to the hand. Inheritable. Your turn, once per turn, when you use an option card with a cost of 2 or more, one of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 2,000 DP for the turn.
Okay, I don't get the hype.
Yeah, that one's pretty normal. Sakuyamon X. Digivolves on level 6 with Sakuyamon in name without X antibody trait for 1 memory. So that includes Maid Mode, the Sub-Zero looking thing from the EX4.
Kuzaha?
Yeah, that's it. When Digivolving, if Sakuyamon or X antibody is in this Digimon sources, play 1 Uka no Matama token, which is a yellow Digimon with 9,000 DP and Rush. Your turn, once per turn, when any of your Digimon attack, you may use 1 single color option card with a cost of 5 or less from your hand without paying the cost. If you did, one of your Digimon unsuspends.
So this is what the deck needed. It needed a way to win games. This is a way to win games.
It is.
Because you're getting something Rush, and you're being able to swing twice.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Plus, if you use the right plugins, you can give yourself security check +1. You can get unblockable. You can do floodgate effects, like you get your Win Digivolvings.
Yeah, this is precisely what this deck needed.
And our conspiracy theory continues, Sean. It does look like her chest is bigger. Full of all that. It's full of all that X antibody fluids.
X antibody female Digimon. That's. I couldn't tell when it was zoomed out, but yeah, once I did get a close up, yeah, it's.
Yep.
Yeah, this looks like it's a potential win condition for Sakuyamon. So shout out to Bandai. They actually are giving it one. Good for them. All right, this little guy. Tapermon.
Finally.
This little guy.
It's been 47 years.
It has, dude. All turns, your opponent can't gain memory other than by tamer effects. Yellow got a memory.
No, I hate it. I hate it.
Also, fun fact, every single rookie floodgate in yellow is a vaccine.
God, why?
They know what they're doing.
Why are they like this?
Cutemon, Pillow, and now Taper are all vaccines.
They're the worst.
They know what they're doing.
Yep. Very excited to finally get a memory blocker in yellow.
No, this is the only thing we had against yellow.
I'm thankful. Hopefully we get the play cost reduction guy eventually, but this guy is better in most situations.
God.
Good job, Bandai. Eightmon.
I hate it.
Inheritable. When attacking once per turn, one of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 2,000 DP for the turn. Whatever.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, the art is giving me big Goku vibes. I really like that.
I hate that. You are correct. Like he's riding a cloud.
And he's got the bone on his back, like he has the neon bow, or the power pole for you English people.
Yeah, I was going to say power pole. Weeb.
Nature spirits.
Yeah. Also, this guy is a nature spirit as well.
Mm-hmm.
Or I'm sorry, he's not a nature spirit. He's the NSO Nightmare Soldiers. Yeah, Nightmare Soldier. Kabuterimon. On play / when Digivolving, you may suspend one Digimon. Inheritable, your turn this Digimon gets 2,000 DP.
Cool, useless pack filler, got it.
I mean, you could play this in Tyrant.
Yeah, it would be.
Yeah, but it's your turn. Inheritable is a downside for me.
I agree. I think it's a little underwhelming, but
if you want it to be Tyrant, it needs to be opponent's turn. If you ask me,
or all turns when it's suspended.
All turns, yeah.
Mega Kabu has Fortitude. All turns while the Digimon is suspended, it gets 3,000 DP. Inheritable,
like
all
that.
turns once per turn when Digimon deletes an opponent's Digimon by battle, trash your opponent's top security card.
They just love giving that the green. They just love giving that the green.
They need something, Brandon.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, it's like with blue, they're like, all right, just give it jamming. Inheritable jamming. Inheritable jamming. For green, any level 5, it's inheritable as, oh, you delete somebody by battle, trash security.
Blue's thing for extra aggro is the ability to unsuspend.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, that too.
Yeah, greens is trashing. It can also get extra checks depending on what deck you're playing. And then red is extra checks. Blue is unsuspending 1,000,000,000 times. Purple is just like swarming with sometimes extra checks. Yellow is just whatever.
Yellow is everything. Yellow is God.
Yes. Hercules Kabuteru Ace. On play / when evolving may suspend up to 3 Digimon. For each of your opponent's Digimon suspended by this effect, gain 1 memory. All turns once per turn when this Digimon becomes suspended, one of your Digimon gains piercing and gets 3,000 DP into the end of your opponent's turn.
Hey, that's really good in Tyrant.
Yeah, play it out.
Do what?
Play it out off Tyrant and then give it the piercing and 3,000 DP.
Yeah.
And you're gaining 3 memory off of it.
I mean, assuming your opponent plays.
Potentially.
Yeah, potentially.
I'd say probably 2, because you're probably going to suspend the Hercules as well, just so you get that all turns effect.
Yeah, I would imagine if you're doing it off the Tyrant play, you'd have to suspend himself, but the ability to potentially steal turn versus somebody is pretty nice.
Yeah.
It's similar to the Melga Ace, but it's
in that fashion, yeah.
Yeah, they greened about it.
Alright, let's look at this fat boy.
Agumon. Eves on top of Cormon for 0, otherwise red or green for 1. On play, reveal the top 3 cards of your deck. Add 1 card with Tyrannomon in its name or the reptile or dinosaur trait, and 1 Ryutaro Williams among them to the hand. Put the rest on the bottom of the deck. Inheritable, your turn, this Digimon gets 2,000 DP.
That Cormon's kind of messed up for that.
Yeah, this is a Tyrannomon card, so this Agumon is dead to me. As soon as I read this part of its effect, I was like, oh, I don't care about this card.
Yeah.
But this guy, maybe.
Another one.
Yeah. Another Agumon. This is the virus one. It's Black Agumon. Also evils on top of Cormon for 0, otherwise green or purple for 1. On play, you may suspend 1 Digimon, and then inheritable is Retail. I would love it if we got a purple Black Wargram online.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Kind of surprised we haven't.
It's quite possible we'll be getting it.
Yeah, like a purple. No, I was gonna say purple black, but with this being green, it's purple green.
If it is this way, then yeah, it would most likely be green purple.
Yeah.
Be prepared to be disappointed.
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, it's part green.
Yeah. Then we have some interesting option cards that got revealed last night. 2-cost green option. It's just called Nature Spirits. While you don't,
I think we're gonna get an option card for each of the team names.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. While you don't have face-up security cards, you may ignore this card's color requirements. So these option cards are the first cards where you don't. They're the first option cards where you don't have to have anything in play in order to activate them.
Because it only looks at your security.
Yeah, and because the only reason you had to have something in play previously is to match the color requirement, but if you don't have a color requirement, you can activate an option card. So
well, yeah, that makes sense because with Nature Spirits, like it plays so many different colors. This would be even more awkward if you had to have that color out.
That is also true. I just thought it was interesting that like these option cards you don't have to have anything in play because that's such like a big first thing.
Right.
Yeah. It's also funny because you actually can't use it with bees. Not that you would.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can.
Well, I mean, yeah, this one. But I'm saying like if there's others.
Oh yeah, you can't use any of the other ones in bees because you're gonna have face-up security cards. That is true.
That's funny. It's just the first thing I thought of was, face-up security cards. That doesn't work with bees.
Yeah.
Bees.
The face-up security effect is all turns, all of your Nature Spirits trait Digimon gain alliance. And then main, add your bottom security card to the hand, then place this card face-up as your bottom security card. Security effect is you may play 1 level 5 or lower Nature Spirits trait Digimon from your hand without paying the cost.
Okay, so I'm glad we're starting to see more of. I mean, we kind of figured this was going to happen once we saw it with bees, where we're gonna start seeing like face-up security cards.
Mm-hmm.
So that seems pretty cool. I mean, the problem is it's in nature spirits, so it's still going to be trash.
Agreed. Someone called this basically a field spell, which I would agree it's probably the closest equivalent to it.
Yeah.
Very interesting way to go about it, but I guess like once they did bees, they were like, oh, we can just do that in other archetypes.
Right.
So definitely some interesting things coming out.
Now, it is interesting because you can't put multiple of these into your security, correct? Because
No, you can.
Nope.
No, you can. It's just if you don't have. Okay, yeah, ignore me.
It's just to meet the color requirements. If you have the color requirements, it does not matter if you have face-up security cards.
Right.
Then we have Deep Savers, which is a blue 2-cost option. While you don't have face-up security cards, you may ignore this card's color requirements. The security face-up effect is all turns. While you have one or more memory, none of your Deep Savers trait Digimon can be deleted by battle. And then main, add your bottom security card to hand. Place this card face-up as your bottom security card. Security, you may play one level 5 or lower Deep Saver trait Digimon card from your hand without paying the cost.
Okay. That's cool, I guess.
Deep Saber's pretty mid.
Yeah, I feel like so far between the two that we've seen, the All Turns Alliance is better than this one.
Agreed.
Yeah.
This effectively gives your dudes jamming, but the fact that it doesn't persist on your
just give them jamming.
Well, the fact that it like your guys can get ran over on your opponent's turn.
Right.
Then we have Nightmare Soldier.
I mean, I was gonna say it does stop them from blitzing over it.
It does.
'Cause it is all turns.
It stops a very specific color from being able to do it. Hopefully they would be smart enough to get around that, but yeah.
Anyway, sorry. Go ahead.
Nightmare Soldiers, 2-cost purple. Same thing. You can order the card's color requirements if you don't have a face-up security card. The face-up security effect is all turns. All of your level 4 or higher Nightmare Soldiers trait Digimon gain Scapegoat. And then main, add your bottom security card to the hand. Put this on the bottom face up. The security effect is you can play a level 5 or lower Nightmare Soldier from your hand without paying the cost. I think this is the best one.
Obviously, yeah.
Yeah. It's purple. Come on, Sean.
That's true. You make a good point. Surprisingly, I think the blue one's the worst one, which is unusual.
Yeah.
Well, it's connected to the DS archetype, which is god awful. So
the dual screen archetype. I was hoping it'd be a little bit better.
It was archetype locked into being bad. That's a good point.
Mm-hmm.
I think the ability to give your entire board a protection effect is pretty stupid.
Yeah, at first I was like, just the level 4 hires. That's weird. And then it's like, all Scapegoat. Oh, okay, never mind.
Yeah. Very strong effect. Obviously, you'd be locked into playing Nightmare Soldiers to get this effect, but if we ever got something like this that was generic, I think it'd be very broken.
Yeah.
Like, imagine if they made more archetype-specific versions of these cards. Like, I can tell you right now, imagine for Deep Savers, that one specifically, change it to be, like, all of your Digimon with Gao or Gauga and name gain jamming. Just imagine that. It's the exact same effect, but that's all you're changing.
Yeah.
Then Mirage has built-in jamming for their entire board. They don't have to flex in out-of-archetype jamming cards anymore.
Huh.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Or like all your cards...
You guys just froze.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
So it's just Brandon?
Apparently, yeah.
Yeah, you're cutting in and out. There he goes. You're back.
I blame Sean's PC.
And you're gone again.
I think it's all you because me and Chris were fine.
Yeah, I was fine. I just happened to stop rocking back and forth the moment it happened.
That's why I thought both of you were frozen, is because Chris wasn't moving, but Brandon was clearly frozen.
Yeah.
What were you saying, Brandon? Just talking about how they could make Mirage better.
He was just talking nonsense. Yeah, we need to make Mirage better. Go to the next card. Let's take advantage of him being all messed up right now. He's talking nonsense.
Yeah, this is the last card is just higher quality BT12 Taikamiya alt art.
Oh, okay, perfect.
Yeah,
those are interesting though. I do hope that they put out some more, like Brand was saying, like archetype specific cards like that, where you can kind of put out, like, as you were calling it, like a field spell.
Yeah, I think that is a very interesting design that I hope they explore more in the future.
Like, I can imagine them just putting out like a Greymon one where it's just like all your Greymons a name, you know, or like
Are you sure you couldn't hear me when I said exactly that?
You froze before you said.
Yeah, you froze.
Give Galmon jamming.
Yeah.
And then I said also you could do something like with Greymon that gives like everybody piercing or DP.
We told you were frozen. We didn't hear that.
That was all cut out.
Yeah.
No, you heard me through this wall and said, I'm going to take that. That's my idea.
I did not. I promise. You just sound muffled.
Yeah, so you can hear me? I knew it.
I can hear noise.
He can tell.
But anyways.
Yeah, can you hear this?
Yes.
How about that? Can you hear that? Boom.
No. Are you hitting your wife again?
Hey, are you okay? Yeah. Hopefully they explore that in the future.
Agreed.
They would need to hard archetype lock each one of those cards. I think.
Yes.
Probably at a certain point of power creep, we might get like more generic ones, but early on.
Hear me out.
Okay.
Just make them the crests.
Yes.
Crest of Friendship. Crest of Friendship. Put it face up on security. It supports all Gabus and Garus. Crest of Courage. Put it face up on security. Supports all Agu and Greys. Crest of Knowledge. Crest of Love. Keep going.
That's how they can implement the crest in the game. Yes. Good idea.
Mm-hmm.
Because we theorized that before, but we couldn't really think of like a way to put them in the game. But yeah.
Yeah, we tried making them delay options.
Yeah, but it would make more sense if they were crests. Oh, imagine this. Crest of Courage. Let's make it a 5-cost option. Maybe 4 or 5. Does a thing where it puts itself face up, whatever. All turns, all of your Digimon with Agumon or Greymon in name get 1000 DP, and then once per turn, when you Evo into a Greymon Digimon, reduce the Evo cost by 1.
Okay. I like that. And then bring Greymon X back.
Yeah, also give us Greymon X back to 4. Yeah.
I think for me, it would also have to be you can only control one of these, or you can only have one of these face up in your security at a time. Just to try to limit them from making them too good.
I don't think that's really necessary.
I'm just thinking there's got to be some way.
Their security cards, they can get checked out of there.
Yeah, also, I just
especially
realized,
if they're also going to have the ability to grab a security as well. So
I just realized the way those are worded, they're not like the Bs. They had the bottom security card to hand. So if they work the same way, you'd actually wouldn't be able to put multiple in there because they'd always grab themselves back.
You would just grab it back. That's funny. Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
So I guess if they worded it the same way, you wouldn't be able to put multiple in there. So maybe it wouldn't cost. I think it would just be fine to make it a 3-cost then.
Yeah, because then you're only putting 1.
Yeah, you only ever are able to get 1 in there. Yeah, but hopefully we get something like that. I think that'd be cool.
Yeah, I can already see the yellow and the purple one being the most busted. I don't know why. It's just a gut feeling.
Most likely.
Purple one. Give all of this archetype retaliation.
It'd probably be Retail or Scapegoat.
Yup.
I don't know what yellow would be. Maybe Barrier.
I guess Barrier.
Make the most sense.
Yep, Barrier.
That'd be very good. Imagine we get an angel.
It would be so awkward in yellow because of how the recovery and stuff works. Like in Vaccine, you trash the bottom card of security sometimes.
By choice.
You can even, yeah, I was gonna say you can even build that into the card, like Crest of Hope. If this card is trashed from security by the effect of an angel or something like that, you get a bonus, like something cool like that.
You could do that.
Plus 2 memory.
All of your trash effects, you can typically pick top or bottom. You don't have to trash from the bottom.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think Crest of Hope would be give all of your Digimon with Angel, Archangel, 3 Great Angels, barrier. I think that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, then you wouldn't have to play bad cards in the deck just to give barrier.
Yeah. Oh, I guess you'd also have to throw Godemon in there somehow. It's fine. It's fine. It's not necessary.
Kari has her own crest, so
yeah,
Kari's could help support like Moth Daemon and stuff like that. The Angelmon line.
She's Hope though, right?
No, she's Light. TK is Hope. Right?
You could be right. I thought
he says I'm correct.
Okay.
I think so, yeah.
I trust her knowledge. Okay, my bad. I thought that that was Kari's.
It was the other way around.
Okay, so I guess TK's would make more sense to give your Angels barrier since like his entire line, besides the Pata, is an Angel.
What would you give birds? Sora's? Because I know a lot of people love birds. Birds is the crest of love.
I don't know.
Everything in me is screaming, just give it extra DP.
Yeah, that's literally my first thought.
I don't know why.
Like, that's not that good.
That's not that good, yeah. Maybe it could help you supplement the Tamers, because the Tamers give you their on-deletion effects, right?
I don't think so. They actually have to die in order to get your on-deletions, I'm pretty sure. Oh,
Doesn't one of the Tamers?
Your Mega gives you your on-deletion effects. Like one of the X-Antibody Megas does it. It turns it into an end-of-attack effect, I think.
Something like that. I think that'd be cool.
So it could potentially turn their on-deletions into end-of-attack effects.
Yeah, like once per turn, you can have one of your on-deletion effects in your stack activate.
Honestly, I feel like
so you could like pick one.
If it just said all turns, all of your bird trait Digimon gain their on deletions turn into end of attack effects. Like if it just worked the same way as the X antibody. That archetype is not that good.
See that.
Like they can pop off on you, but like it would.
I was trying to think of something that would help them get a little push.
Yeah, I think just making it like a board effect would be perfectly fine and reasonable for that archetype because that archetype's not that busted.
Right.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
I already know what I'd want to give Gabumon.
Jamming.
No, because he already has battle protection with his
yeah, true.
X antibody line. Oh, you can give Greymon battle protection. That'd be. I don't think it'd be good, but never mind.
That wouldn't be necessary.
He's already big enough to where it doesn't matter. What I was gonna say is like once per turn, if this Digimon would leave the battle area, you can trash this card in your security to prevent it from leaving. So you're having to lose a security, but you gotta stop your dude from being deleted by card effects.
I mean, I agree.
Because other than BT 15 Melga, you have no way to stopping that.
I agree. That's like the one thing that archetype doesn't have besides the Melga. Or you could just give all of them that effect. You could just give your entire Gabu line
evade.
Yeah, evade.
I'd be down for that. That's good.
Yeah.
So give Garu more protection.
Yeah.
Hey, he needs it.
Comment questions.
Haven't pulled these up yet.
Let's see.
I normally look at these before we get on, but I forgot to this week, so I'm excited to see what they say.
I've looked at it like once or twice.
Von Wafer 12. Curious to see what your Lord Nightmon list is looking like, Sean. Is 4 Proto super necessary? Also wondering what the level 6s looking like. 3 rare Lord Nightmon, 3 to 4 Lord Nightmon X, 1 Anubis question mark. I will be posting a deck profile sometime early next week. Okay. That'll show you the list I took the locals, which I think is my refined list. I don't foresee myself making any changes on it from this point. It feels really solid now. For Proto is 1000% required to play that deck optimally. You cannot get away with playing less, because outside of Gabu X, which is a one of, you cannot search it, and all of your other search cards bot deck it because it's not a purple card. You need to see Proto form in order to play optimally, because all your effects require you to have Proto form in your sources to get all the special effects, and it also reduces one of your Evo costs by 1. 100% necessary.
Man, the paywall.
It sucks that it's a $50 card, so that's a $200 paywall to even think about playing the deck. The rest of the deck is relatively cheap, though. Like Lord Nightmon X's, the regular supers are under $10 now. Anubis is like less than 5. I don't think anything else in the deck. Like, you have like memory boosts and trainings, but those are all relatively cheap. Yeah, there's.
It's gotten so bad. People are cutting open PSA 10 rated proto forms because they need it.
Yeah, which honestly, getting Digimon cards, if it's not like a chase card or prize card, getting them PSA graded is a waste of time and money right now. The game is not old enough, and there's not really a market for graded cards yet. Eventually, but right now you're literally you're setting money on fire by getting them graded.
Especially if it's not a fan favorite card, like a War Greymon or an Omnimon or something like that.
Yeah.
Somebody who's actually going to be sought after.
Yeah. Crimson 35124 did reply to this and say, that's funny because whenever they commented, they said to avoid spending 160 plus on 4 protoforms. Now it's even more than that because they continue to climb. They say you can substitute 1 to 2 with BT9 X antibody. If you absolutely literally can't afford to get them and you're just going to locals, you could probably get away with that. But the Evo reduction makes it so much better for you. And the constant recursion of the protoform every time one of your stacks gets outed, in addition to getting a piece back, like, you need 4 protoforms if you want to play that deck optimally. Tony Pino 18, still weird y'all do best of 3 sealed tournaments. So we actually just I was looking up the rules for pre-release last week. I didn't even realize there was an option to do best of 1. I don't know how interested anyone would be in doing best of 1 format, because I personally think that's kind of stupid, because it's like way more RNG. But it would let us get through pre-release very quickly. Yeah, it would let us open our boxes. Yeah. So like, I wouldn't hate it. Oh, I accidentally downvoted something. I fat fingered it. My bad. I wouldn't hate it if we did that, because it would be nice to be able to not only have everyone open their stuff early, but leave a little bit earlier.
Right.
But I also wouldn't hate it if we kept it the same way. But I would be down to do whatever the group wanted to.
Yeah, next pre-release we'll have to put it to a vote and see what people want.
Yeah,
I didn't even realize it was an option either.
I neither. I was looking up I forgot what I was trying to look up, which I didn't find the answer for. But I saw that in the rules, and I was like, oh, I didn't even know that was an option.
I wonder if I have to do something specific when I'm putting the tournament in. If I have to change it to best of 1 or something like that.
I would imagine you probably do, because otherwise your reporting is going to be super scuffed.
Me reporting, it would just be everybody is 2-0.
Yeah, I mean, worst case scenario, you could just do that because it would be functionally the same thing.
Yep.
But yeah. Anyway, JFox50, BT9 Maki is a good tamer for bees. On play searches 2-color black Digimon, and every turn it reduces the Evo cost by 1 and 2-color black Digimon. That actually isn't a bad idea.
I mean, I'll probably still stick with... I mean, I could probably replace Winter with that.
I agree. I think that would be definitely better than Winter.
How much is Maki? Is she a 3 cost?
She's a 3 cost.
Okay. So I take out... She's black, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I take out Togemon entirely, because I already hate that card.
Yeah.
Probably replace it with the promo I was talking about last night. I think that's... I might have said Kabuteri in the deck profile. I think I meant Kawaga.
I think you did say Kabuteri.
Thinking about it, I think I did. Whatever. If you watch the deck profile and you watch this, Kawaga.
I think it's not a bad option because, I mean, it searches, and every turn after it hits a field, it reduces.
You're at least getting some value.
So, like, you're not losing tempo by paying 3 memory to put it on the field.
Right.
Yeah. I like it.
Just going up one line, it's already paid for itself.
This is what we'll do. Alright, since I've basically already sworn myself off of this deck because I had such a bad time with it, we'll take all of these improvements that are being made. We'll just give it to Chris. He can play it. He can feel my pain.
Maybe I'll throw it together. Who knows? This format is long enough to where I might be tempted. Also, Brandon, I'm pretty sure last night, if memory serves, you triggered the Togemon effect, and I immediately Leviat X'd you because you did it. Did I imagine that, or did that actually happen?
Oh, I was trolling. It was 1,000% a troll effect.
Okay.
Because I had 0 security, nobody on the board. So I went, Togemon, suspend, play Mimi for 1 memory and pass turn. And then you did something, and I was just already picking up my cards.
Yeah, I Leviat X'd out of trash when you did it.
Is that not how that works?
No, it is. You played a tamer by an effect, so I triggered Leviat X and Evo'd on top of my level 5 for free.
Oh yeah, so you're just trying to be win more. Meanwhile, I'm already scooping.
That's not win more. You didn't start scooping until after you already did that. So like I was already in the act of evoing into it before you started picking up your cards.
Yes, your 3 bodies on the board. My 0 security and nobody on the field.
I saw Sean's board. Yeah, I saw Sean's board against Lucas. Okay, he's now trying to win more.
He needed all 3 of those Leviathan security checks.
Let me pull up my final board versus Lucas.
It's not as bad as the Caleb one. The Caleb one was the worst I've ever seen. Like, you literally couldn't put any more cards on the mat.
Yeah, that one though, that wasn't because like most of those bodies got played in 1 turn. They didn't have rush. So, like, I legitimately could not kill him. I had to wait another turn. Yeah, here's for the pod. Let me focus. There we go.
Jesus.
That is my final board after I'd already popped a Deltamon to unsuspend my Lord Nightmon X once. And I checked his mat out of security, so I evened in a Leviat X for free. So like,
yes, that's Leviat X, Ghazi, Gobbly, Anubis, Ogre, Lord Nightmon X, and I think that's your trash. So.
And then Ghazi as well.
That.
The Ghazi is also on the field.
Oh.
That Ghazi.
That's a Ghazi, right? I said Ghazi and Gobbly.
There's another.
Oh, there's 2 Ghazis.
Yes, there's 2 Ghazis on the field.
Your hand's covering it. So.
Yeah, the suspended Ghazi was played that turn without rush, so I couldn't swing with it. It was suspended for alliance with Lord Nightmon X. And my next swing was Leviat X, and I popped that Ghazi to unsuspend it. But yeah, everybody else on the field can swing.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, I could have killed him through probably 15 plus security. Because Cerberus X is underneath the Leviat X, the Anubis, and the Lord Nightmon X.
But it's not win more, guys.
It was optimal because he plays security bombs. I needed to make sure that no matter how stacked his security was, it was still going to be lethal.
Bro, just play Delicate Plan.
Yeah, with my red cards. Joe Geiger Jr. or I'm assuming.
I think that's right.
Yeah, I'm assuming that's probably right. Regarding the horror discussion, my favorite slashers are the Saw franchise. What are y'all's thoughts on those?
I love the first two. I can't remember any of the other ones after that. They all muddle together.
I like the Saw franchise. I don't. The problem is it's not horror. It's not like really a horror movie.
It's more, the first one is definitely more horror vibe.
I don't even think that one's that horror. Like, what's scary about it? Just because you're I guess them being locked up in a basement.
Yeah, you want to be locked in a basement with your ankle chained to a toilet?
Yeah, do what you got to do, man. I mean, at some point, I agree. Like the first one's more horror than the others, but at some point it just becomes
gratuitous.
Yeah, it just becomes more, torture porn than anything.
Yeah, I mean, you don't get stuff like the shotgun carousel without it getting more gratuitous as you go.
Yeah, like it's just don't get me wrong. I mean, they're good. Just don't think about the story. Don't think about what's actually going on. You're just there to see like the interesting, cool traps and how they're gonna kill different people.
Yeah.
As soon as you hear the do 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 do, you just know, okay, something stupid's about to happen.
And I like the jigsaw doll. That's cool.
Do what, Sean?
Is that the Jigsaw's theme song? That little tune?
Yeah.
Yeah.
As soon as it starts playing, you know they're about to reveal something stupid. The big twist of the movie is coming.
I'm pretty sure I've only seen Saw 1. I may have seen bits and pieces of others, but like I don't really like horror movies. But I saw the first one. The first one is pretty good / interesting. The ending is pretty messed up, but I thought it was interesting. I thought it was weird they made sequels after watching the first one.
Oh, Sean, since you haven't seen it and you're probably never gonna watch them, just know the doctor who cuts his
ankle off.
Yes, he actually becomes one of
the
Kramer. He joins him. Yeah.
So step one, he lives.
He does live. He lives that.
I don't know how many.
And then step two, he turns to the dark side.
I mean, it's definitely feasible that he could survive that. Because like
they show how too.
I would imagine he took his belt off and like.
Would have been smarter.
Did he find fire somewhere and cauterize it?
Yep.
How?
There was a pipe. There was a heating pipe, for heating the building.
Okay, that sounds
it was a rusted metal pipe. It was like a huge rusted metal pipe, and he just
he got tetanus,
stuck his stump on it.
Cool. That sounds like plot convenience to me, but whatever.
Yeah, don't think about it. That's what I'm saying. Don't think about the plot.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty messed up at the end when he was like, the key to your cuffs are in that bathtub, and I'm like, it went down the drain at the very beginning of the movie. Like,
yeah, good luck never getting out of there.
Yeah, I'm like, that's not how that works. You can't just be like, oh.
Which I thought it's also bullcrap, because for the entirety of the rest of the series, the franchise, they have this thing where they're like, there's a code. Dude, there's always a way to get out of the trap. It's almost never rigged to where you can't get out of the trap no matter what. And then in the first trap ever, the key's in the bathtub.
Yeah, you literally can't get out because you woke up and the way you were put in there was
disoriented and
immediately pulled the plug to where it went down the drain.
I'll say this, the most recent one where they kind of just like, instead of like going further into like the timeline, they just went back. It's back when John. No, the one after that. This one just focuses on John Kramer. Yeah.
Gotcha.
And this one, I actually kind of like this one probably the most out of all of them. It goes back to when John Kramer first gets diagnosed with cancer, and he's like looking for like any kind of way to try and get cured. And he finds this one treatment facility, and they're basically like a big hoax, and show him like fake results after he gets it done, because they're just scamming him for money and blah blah blah. And then he kidnaps all of them and does the whole Saw thing with them, and I thought that was pretty interesting. Like that, it's more grounded and makes sense. Like he's actually killing bad people instead of
randoms.
Like
you take your life for
that
granted.
are just kind of like morally decrepit. You know what I mean?
No, like it doesn't sound nearly as bad as the one with Chris. This is gonna be a reference for you. Slow Jeff.
Yep.
From the Kill Count.
That dude, he's the worst.
He's the worst. His wife is completely innocent in most, if not all, of this dude's evil doings. And when I tell you, his wife gets killed in the most brutally torturous way possible, and she is borderline innocent. She gets put into a medieval torture device and murdered in one of the worst ways possible, and she's literally an innocent. Like, in every other death in that movie was like, oh, this guy's morally corrupt, oh, he did this, and this is just your supportive wife.
That reminds me of Jurassic
It's so
World,
messed up.
when the nanny got eaten by the giant.
Yeah, the nanny. Yeah. She gets the worst death, and she didn't even do anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you had to see a behind the scenes like cut scene that showed her like being abusive to people just to get the payoff for that. But it's at the same time like you cut it from the movie, so we have this gratuitous death scene.
I was like,
we have this gratuitous death scene for no reason.
I didn't even know there were deleted scenes of her being an a-hole.
Yeah, like I guess she was like being abusive to like her subordinates and the kids.
Okay.
But like you cut that from the movie, so now we just have this.
Cut that out. She just dies.
She just dies. Yeah. It's the Saw franchise. I think goes down after the first two, because like when you have the drug house, that one's pretty good. The twist in that's pretty good.
I like that one. I like some of the ones with Hoffman. Hoffman's I like Hoffman.
No, but like I straight up like you get that physical reaction when she gets tossed into the pit of needles. Oh my god. F that.
How?
Yeah, like it's somebody else's trial, but the dude goes, I'm not going in there, picks up the chick and just throws her in it. And you have to like dig through a pit of used needles. Awful.
You also just can't think about like actually how long a lot of this setup would take.
Yeah, right.
And money and time. Yeah.
I also don't find it believable at all that they didn't notice him breathing on the floor in the first one.
Didn't they say that he was like he had drugged himself?
Yeah. He drugged himself to make it look like he was in a near-death state.
When did they say that? In a sequel?
Probably.
No, I think in that movie. I think when he plays the tape recorder.
No, he just in the movie
gets up and walks away.
In the movie, he just gets up and he's like, "Oh, your key is in that
There's
bathtub.
Your key.
Bye.
Game over."
Yeah.
Game over.
Yeah, it's probably in like the second or third they start explaining stuff like that.
Yeah, because that makes
no sense. It's not good when you have to retroactively explain something.
I'm like, they didn't notice the dead-looking dude breathing for the entirety of the time they were in there with nothing else to do.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
On top of that, like you know how we're telling you about the doctor and his seared leg.
Mm-hmm.
They reveal that like in movie 7. Or something like that, and then explain to you that he's been helping.
A lot of movies.
Yeah, it's like movie 7, and then explain to you retroactively he's been helping since movie 2.
That's so stupid.
But none of the other Jigsaw followers knew. You know what I mean?
About
it's just yeah. Go to the next comment question. We spent too much time on just Saw.
I agree.
These sutures look really clean. Did you have an actual doctor do this? Stupid.
Maybe. Gee, this is a long name.
Oh my god.
I think it's Spanish. I think it's Relatos de la Dimension Differa 9841.
You got through that better than I would have.
That's just a guess. It's kind of hard because there's no like capitalization or anything in the other tags. Death X is on the first announcement they made for the LM set when the Sistermon's in Chaos. It's kind of weird that it was on the regional stuff. Also, somebody have a clue on the other new text cards other than the Aces, Boost, and Scrambles. There are 18 of them, and the set has 26. Him and somebody else. I'm going to go ahead and read that one. A block of tofu said, we should be getting the new Death X alt in the LM set. Hopefully we do get a reprint set sometime next year.
I hope so.
I need to go back and look at the announcements, but I was almost positive we're not getting the Death X in there, or the Proto Form, or any of the stuff they put in the event packs. Hachiko42, I've actually never used the Digi-Convert mechanic in Cyber Sleuth HM. Do you get ABI from it? That's a y'all question.
I have no idea. I never used it either, honestly.
I don't
I just trained my Digimon the good old-fashioned way.
You didn't throw them in the meat grinder?
I think I think if it's like a high enough level, it gets. I think it is just experience points. I think it's just XP. I do believe it's just XP. I don't think you get any ABI for it.
Okay, whatever that means.
I haven't played the game in a little while, so.
Yogo Polo 6968, thank you for being a channel member. Sean, are you going to be posting IRL gameplay for Lord Nightmon? I absolutely will. That'll start going up. I'll say like middle of next week. I'm going to do the deck profiles first, and then around the middle of next week will be when the gameplay starts going up. I'm excited to post all the matches of me just rolling people. Oreo X.
The only way we ever actually get IRL gameplay.
That's not true. I post losses.
Well, I didn't say loss. The fact it was a win or a loss. But I'm just saying, like, it's finally Lord Knight, and you actually.
Why are you getting so defensive, Sean? Huh?
I don't think I was being defensive.
Oh, calm down. You don't have to yell at us.
Oreo X1000. If building bees, I highly recommend Hornet Eraser and possibly playing Tekken with Magna Ace. Magna adds a security to help with your effects, and Hornet Eraser, solid removal, replaces itself while hit in security.
That's what we were talking about last night.
Gaia reactor.
Yeah, I feel like if you could Evo into or on top of Magna Ace, maybe.
Yeah, it would be better.
The fact that it's just a 4-cost, like, just dude that does nothing else in your deck, it
does nothing.
I don't think it would be worth it to play that. The Hornet Eraser option is, I think, an option, but I don't think the Magna would help. Oreo X1000. Sean, any plans to post your Lord Nightmon X list? Yes, that will be going up early next week. What?
There's all these Lord Nightmon fiends.
The people want to know. Amateurish Author 2202. Omni Ace on Evo is if DNA Digivolving. Pick one of your opponent's Digimon, bot deck it, and all of your opponent's Digimon that share a level with it. So on a D-Reaper board, you'd still bot deck one of the Digimon even though you don't bot deck all of them. Very true. Completely forgot that part.
Yeah, I did see this one. Okay.
Yeah, the original cards you hit, you will be able to bot deck. You just can't do anything else. But yeah, so you can bot deck one and delete one. So you can clear 2 bodies with Omni Ace if you DNA. Thank you for reminding us how that card works. I blame Brandon for not realizing that.
Yeah, freaking Brandon.
I mean, it's not like I ever have to play against something without levels right now. Like,
that is true. D-Reaper.
When will that come up?
Will is building D-Reaper. He's even got his 4 fake Jerrys now.
Oh, I'd love to play against
does he actually have all of them? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Amateurish Author 2202. Also important to note that the Susanoo Susanoo-amon option, I hate that name, doesn't ignore EVO requirements, so you'd only ever be evolving onto a level 6 instead of onto a tamer. I don't play Mother Control. How viable is that? It is not, after we realized how the Susanoo option, or how the Susanoo works, and the fact that Mother Control is not playing a bunch of different color tamers. Amateurish author.
I was gonna say, I've seen a lot of people misplaying with that option card in the Susanoo and like skipping a bunch of like the requirements to meet them. Because I think the Susanoo-mon says something on the card and you just can't ignore it. It has to have like so many cards underneath it or in the stack or something, and people just ignore it.
Yeah.
People don't read.
Yeah.
They don't expect too much from people.
I'm one of them.
Yeah,
I'm one of them.
Also, I found a little bit of information on the LM set coming in December.
Okay.
The release date is set for December 13th.
Okay.
It says it is a mini set containing LM3 and LM4. LM4 is still unannounced as of this, but the suggested additional cards that are in there, that are the new text card, are apparently, according to this, rumored to be Savers or Shine Greymon, like a little mini support package in there. So, and then of course there's the 8 alt-art cards, which are from LM2. It says a full box is guaranteed to get all 26 of the new cards somewhere in your packs. And they said combining it into this little mini booster rather than event cards should make it easier for people to get their hands on these cards. So that was like their statement on that.
So,
as of yet, it doesn't seem we have any information on
Can you read that sentence again?
LM cards are. Which one?
The last one.
Combining them and making them a mini booster rather than event cards should make them easier to nab for people. So hopefully that means DeathX, Proto are actually in the set.
Hopefully that's exactly what that means, is they're also going to be in the LM set.
Yeah.
That would be ideal, because DeathX, Protoform obviously desperately needs a reprint at this point, because the fact that it's a $50 super is pretty stupid.
It's wild.
I think that's the most expensive card we ever had in the game at base rarity that wasn't a secret rare. Like,
yeah.
After BT4, I should say. Because Omnimons were more expensive than that, but that's like basically the first set of the game.
Right.
So I can't think of anything else that was that expensive. Amateurish author 2202, you know what would be fascinating direction for Owen's deck if his deck let him take cards out of the opponent's security, look at them, and then put them on top or bottom of their security, which then lets the tamer suspend to pop something. If they went that direction, I'd call it a good play.
That'd be hilarious. Let me see that.
Yeah.
Oh, leave that there.
You know, your opponent doesn't get to see it or anything.
Yeah, I think
just get a look at it.
I think because of how everything else in the game works, it would reveal it to both players. But I think it'd be funny if you were just like secretly look at this card.
I mean, yeah, I think that would be the first of its kind, where you get to look at your opponent's stuff and your opponent doesn't get to look at it with you.
Yeah, that's why I think it wouldn't work like that, because I don't think any other cards so far have worked like that. But it would be funny if it did.
I mean, as long as you're putting the card back, like, I don't think it matters.
Yeah, but everything else in the game, whenever stuff like that happens, it gets revealed to both players.
Public information.
Blind Owl 123. I was able to pull the SP Susanoo-amon in a box with my alt arts being Lord Nightmon Ace and Lord Nightmon X Antibody. So I'm taking it as a sign that I have to play Lord Nightmon. That's a pretty good box.
Nice.
I'm just not sure if I want to go Purple Cerberus Loop or Dark Nightmon based. Do you guys think the Dark Nightmon, Lord Nightmon deck will be able to compete with all the de-evo and low-cost Tamer hate the deck has? I feel like the 3-cost goading option should help with keeping aggressive decks in check, as the deck can always play Fist of Athena and then Digicross a Dark Nightmon to pass turn, and Dark Nightmon X can always get back any Lord Nightmon aces that end up in the trash.
Well, we know how Sean feels.
Yeah, the Dark Knightmon variant I think is objectively way inferior to the Cerberus Loop package. I also think the Fist of Athena option is a trap. After testing it in the black base, I ended up cutting it. There are better ways to taunt your opponent.
Well, you heard it here first, folks.
Yeah, I think you might be able to play it at your locals if your locals isn't like hyper competitive. But if you take it to an event, you're going to get rolled real hard. Desmond Milers 3114, thank you for being a channel member, Desmond. I made Lord Nightmon X deck and I realized it's just another Anubis deck.
Alright, what's up with all these Lord Nightmon questions, huh?
No,
that's not even a question, Sean. You just wanted to read it because it said Lord Nightmon.
He's a channel member.
No, but watch Sean jump to it and be like, just like his reply, I wouldn't call it Anubis.
So it's not an Anubis deck. Anubis worked way differently than Lord Nightmon X.
I don't know. I feel like if you compare the board states, it's literally Anubis with a bunch of other dudes, and then Anubis with a bunch of other dudes.
That's if you see Anubis and your opponent doesn't answer the Anubis on their turn. I can't help if my Anubis survived the turn once or twice last night. Your normal ending game states or board states are like one Lord Nightmon X with like one other dude on the field when you're killing your opponent. Whereas Anubis was like, I'm an Anubis, I'm going to play Merva, Merva's going to play two dudes. Oh, it's still my turn. Swing, 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 swing. Okay, your turn.
Swing, swing, swing.
Oh, you didn't answer my Anubis. I'm going to do it all over again.
Have you thought about me doing it again?
Yeah.
Now I have two Anubis.
They are, like, I think the only similarities I would say are they're basically both purple good stuff decks. But the way that they play are completely different. I think Lord Nightmon X might be better than, like, if you took full power Anubis versus Lord Nightmon X, I think Lord Nightmon X would have a decent shot into full power Anubis. If you
it
match up correctly.
It has D-Evo, it has Digivolve Prevention.
Beyond Broken. Make it a video. Do it.
Yeah, we could do that. I know Ben would not mind breaking out full power Anubis. Grim the Nightmare 6536, thank you for being a channel member, Grim. I'm gonna be on my singles grind the next month or two. Pissed because the alts in this set are pretty. Life be like that sometimes though. Yeah, I think the alt arts in this set are gonna be the only thing that retain value. All of the regular art supers and secrets are just gonna go lower and lower because of the increased ratios, the increased pull rates of those cards in the set, which is good for budget players. Because base rarity versions of any deck is going to be pretty cheap. So once again, good job, Bandai. 2.0 was a massive dub for everyone. Because the rarity whores still get to have their super expensive pretty cards.
I mean, yeah, just getting that extra hit in each box is just such a good feeling.
Extra 2 hits.
I was talking about like the secret alt art, like specifically.
Yeah, true. Yeah. I think 2.0 or 2.5 is going to be the same, but I really hope they just stick with that, like, from here on out. Because that'll also help keep
a lucky pack in every set would be cool.
Yeah.
For real.
Because it's going to help the secondary market, even if the set itself is still relatively scarce, which is the biggest issue with how scarce this past year's sets have been. Is just the secondary market is just absolutely insane on some of these cards. That was the last one.
Nice.
Heck yeah.
All right, Brandon, roll us out. I'm ready to go eat some food.
Oh yeah, I'm starving. Eat some food and we'll go play some Black Ops.
I'm gonna finish my breakfast burger.
Oh, you didn't finish it?
No, I just took a couple bites. It would have taken too long for me to finish it.
Understandable. Did you get your Whataburger last night?
Yeah, I did.
Always got to get it.
Yeah, and I got a breakfast.
Oh, that reminds me. Chris, he wants to know if you want to go to Dairy Queen because we still got those coupons and they expire soon.
Yeah, I'm down. We can hit it up.
Excellent.
All right.
Dairy Queen.
Bye.
Later.
Bye.